Does Mac Jones's play justify Brock Purdy getting signed by the 49ers? Now, I know it's pretty cliche to think that, Mac Jones has played pretty well the last couple of games. Why is it all of a sudden, why would you say something like that? Now, this is the reason why. If you guys want to go back and talk about the draft class in 2021 where the 49ers took Trey Lance, it would be interesting to know, and a little nugget that everybody should take away from my comment is that Kyle Shanahan actually wanted to draft Mac Jones. He loved every single aspect of Mac Jones's game, but it was a little unrealistic. People in the front office really didn't want to draft Mac Jones. They really was in love with Trey Lance. So Kyle Shanahan never got to get the guy that he wanted. Really, really wanted a Mac Jones. Mac Jones, first year in the NFL, as soon as he got drafted under Josh McDaniel, he was a Pro Bowl quarterback, took his team to the playoffs, and he's pretty much had a nosedive in his career. The last couple of years in New England was not that great, and he gets released. I think he spent just 1 year last year on the Jaguars, if I'm not 100% certain. Maybe 1 or 2 years. I want to say it was 1. Then this year, the San Francisco 49ers picked him up. And we know the things going on with Brock Purdy. Signed a big contract over the offseason to make him, he's finally getting his money. Big. I think he's making what? North of $200 million. And going into the season, he's hurt, he's banged up, he's got turf toe, he's had shoulder issues. So after week 1, he gets hurt. Mac Jones comes in, and Mac Jones has been absolutely exceptional. Right now, he's 3-0 as a quarterback so far this season. Statistically, he's played way better than Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy has turned the ball over 5 times. Brock Purdy has turned the ball over a lot. So, given the history of Kyle Shanahan and how well he is able to pretty much be super successful with any type of quarterback he puts under the helm for the San Francisco 49ers, is it easy to question, should the 49ers have paid Brock Purdy? Because I've been on the record, and I said this many times last year, I never was in love with Brock Purdy. When I watch him play, yes, he throws a nice football. He's pretty much on time. But man, he gets super fortunate with a lot of throws that he makes. He give him credit, he's very gutsy. He's not scared to rip it. But at some point, the luck's going to run out. We saw it in week 1 against Seattle. That dangerous throw that he made to win the game. I personally don't know how it didn't get intercepted. I don't know what Tariq Woolen was even doing. And even the many times, especially specifically when he played my Dallas Cowboys, there were a couple throws that he made where I'm like, what are we doing? How did that throw even get there? But kudos to Brock Purdy. That's how sensational of an accurate passer that he is. But he's never been this transcendent talent at the position. Like, he's not someone like a Josh Allen. He's not a Lamar Jackson. He doesn't have any of those type of traits. He doesn't have a strong arm. He's okay mobile-wise. He fits the standard in this new generation of football where he's a mobile quarterback. He's pretty mobile. He's short. He's not tall. He's not a built guy. He's just your average Joe type quarterback physically. And I promise you, Brock Purdy would, and I've said this many times, I don't think Brock Purdy would have been successful under any other coach than Kyle Shanahan. Because Kyle Shanahan is that elite at being a quarterback coach. He made Matt Ryan an MVP. He took him to the Super Bowl. Jimmy G, porn star Jimmy, as people like to call him. Kudos to Stephen A. He took him to the Super Bowl. Took him to multiple NFC championship games. And then the same goes for Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy falls in that line. Went to an NFC championship game, you lost, then inevitably go to the Super Bowl and you lost. Many thought if Trey Lance would have stayed healthy, he could have done that with Trey Lance. Probably could have even done better. So when you see the 49ers being so successful with Mac Jones, does it really justify paying Brock Purdy that type of money when you could invest it anywhere else? Because we know the history of the 49ers. Now, this is something else that I do not understand with San Francisco 49ers, specifically in this game. People were dropping like hot flies. They lost 4 defensive players in the first half. I don't know who the strength and conditioning coach is there at San Francisco, but I promise you, his job is going. I don't like to call for anybody's job, but my Lord, something has got to give up there in San Francisco. It makes absolutely no sense how players continue to be hurt in the rate they're hurt. Ricky Pearsall didn't play yesterday. Juwan Jennings did not play yesterday. Christian McCaffrey had calf issues going into the first week of the season. George Kittle, he's out. O-line, multiple O-linemen out. Defensive linemen out. Joey Bosa tears his ACL. Don't even get me started with Brock Purdy, the quarterback. And Mac Jones, and give credit to Mac Jones in this game. Mac Jones was on one leg in this game at the quarterback position, and he won. Something has got to give with that. But you could have used those assets with the money you paid Brock Purdy and spreaded the wealth. Beef up the O-line. Build the cornerback depth. You're very weak at corner, very thin at corner. Because you gave, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think Brock Purdy was due his contract yet. I think he had an extra year left I think he was going into this season on his final year of his deal. So, that's just one way to think about it. But, going into this game, Mac Jones was absolutely sensational throwing the football. He was gutsy, stood in there. He was taking shots. Him and Kevin Bourne was reliving that New England vibe they had going on in his rookie year. Like, Kevin Bourne I think he had 10 receptions for 140 yards. The dude was 142 yards. The dude was absolutely sensational last night. And Mac Jones, 33 of 49, 342 yards, 2 touchdowns, did not turn the ball over. That is huge. So the San Francisco 49ers are shockingly 4-1. 8.5 point underdog. I sure didn't think the 49ers even had a shot in this game. If you compare the teams, you got a Los Angeles Rams team with a fantastic quarterback, fantastic wide receiver duo, pretty good running back, pretty good, very, very, very good defensive line. The Rams outmatched the 49ers in every single facet and skill position. And yet the 49ers were able to come up with a dub. That shows you how greedy this team is. It shows how greedy the franchise is. And it shows the leadership of Kyle Shanahan and how he is able to win with much less. And there's been a couple tweets going out today talking about the 49ers were pissed because everybody was not even getting them a chance. And it was pretty much bulletin board material. Just kudos to the San Francisco 49ers. They shocked me. And I just hope they're able to stay healthy. They got a long, they got a mini bye. Got a long time. Hopefully, Mac Jones, you're going to sit Brock Purdy as much as possible. You see how well Mac Jones is playing. You're going to sit Brock Purdy as long as you can, because look, as much as I say, does it justify? Brock Purdy is the franchise guy. You're not paying a guy $200 million to sit on the bench. It's just not happening. He's going to play. Hopefully, Mac Jones is pretty much pulling a Sam Darnold here. He's getting a year under Kyle Shanahan, building up his portfolio. And hopefully he can go elsewhere and succeed. But Mac Jones is more talented than Brock Purdy. So it would be interesting to see how well Mac Jones really could be under a guy like Kyle Shanahan, because I think that Mac Jones is Kyle Shanahan's dream quarterback. He is. And let's be honest, Kyle Shanahan, under his tenure as the 49ers head coach, has not had a talented quarterback physically. He's had Jimmy G and Brock Purdy in the Super Bowl. Neither one of those guys compared to Mac Jones when it comes to pure football talent. Not even close. I don't want to diss Brock Purdy, but he was Mr. Irrelevant for a reason. executives and scouts with the NFL teams was not looking at Brock Purdy and saying, you know what, this guy's a super talented quarterback. Brock Purdy was a fill-in guy. He was a quarterback 3, quarterback 2, backup quarterback draft. It's like, just in case. He was a just in case pick. In the case of Mac Jones was a first round draft pick. Granted, I mean, a lot of people wasn't in love with Mac Jones coming out of the draft, but he was a first round draft pick. So that's something interesting. Now let's move on to the Rams. The Rams, to me, lost this game. And I do not blame. I know a lot of people are trying to, give Sean McVay heat for going forward on 4th down there at the end of the game. That is the absolute right call. We're not playing for ties. You were pretty successful running the football with Kyren Williams. You were averaging 4.6 yards a carry. The defensive line, the whole defense for the 49ers was absolutely banged up. You pretty much had nothing to lose. But, credit to the rookie safety. He came down and made a big play and stopped Kyren Williams short. And the O-lineman didn't get a good push. Maybe I would have rather have liked a pass play because pretty much Matt Stafford threw the ball 47 times. It's not, he's already threw the ball enough. What's going to hurt it for him to drop back to pass? Because Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams and Tutu Atwell all together were doing pretty much whatever they wanted to those defensive backs. So I agree with the call. I agree with the call to go for it. I don't quite agree with the type of play call. It never irks me the most when you just see coaches in a big moment, big 4th downs, just come up with the most vanilla play call of all time. They're like, you know what, Kyren Williams, line them up, just straight handoff. I'm not a big fan of that. Granted, Sean McVay took a huge risk with, even giving the ball to Kyren Williams because Kyren Williams is having to fumble rooskies. He has a huge fumble problem. It spans from last year. And that fumble near the goal line at the 1 yard line, that was pretty bad. That if I'm Sean McVay, I was absolutely livid. Absolutely livid. Ball security. You're 1 yard away from getting a touchdown to win the game, and you fumbled the football. I would have been absolutely livid. But I agree with the decision. I just don't like the play call. I would have liked some type of, play action off of it. Puka Nacua was going to get open. Devontae Adams was going to get open. They even showed a picture of Devontae Adams near the end of the game. He had like this face like, dude, give me the football. But I think the Rams shot themselves in the foot. They turned the ball over too much in this game. And they came out to a very slow start. And the one thing in the NFL, if you let a team that is inferior to you be able to hang on and tread along with you, that gives them more and more determination to want to beat you. That gives them more and more momentum. When a team like the 49ers, they have all of them injuries. I bet you going into this game, a lot of them guys, even though they're competitive, they're sitting there like, man, Puka Nacua, best wide receiver in the league statistically right now. Matt Stafford, future Hall of Famer. Devontae Adams, future Hall of Famer. Straight dogs on the D-line. I bet you 49ers were saying to themselves, man, we got a tough battle. And then they go in the first half and put up 14 points. 14 points. In halftime, you have a 17-7 lead against your division rival? Oh, yeah. The Rams put themselves in a huge hole. But kudos to the San Francisco 49ers. It puts into question, which I was very much down on the San Francisco 49ers. We're going to wrap it up here with this, with my final thought here. It's a pretty much what if with this team. What if they were 100% healthy? Just take away Brock Purdy. What if they had a Mac Jones? What if they had Brandon Ayuk? What if they had not even Brandon Ayuk? Let's just say just a regular roster that's supposed to be out there. Everyone on the offensive line, D-line, add in George Kittle in this game. Heck, even Ricky Pearsall and Juwan Jennings. I'm interested to see more Mac Jones in the future.